It's a good place to start.
That's
Good for you.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
for you.
We have to get our haircut. They're getting a haircut at 11.
Oh,
So what
okay.
kind of thing?
Amy sometimes puts us to sleep though. You can't fall asleep at the end if you don't watch it.
All right, I'll be ready for that.
Gotcha. So we are live. All of our conversations are being recorded currently.
Oh no.
I'm so glad that it's working so that people can practice from home. I heard from Mary Hansbrough, who is, I think, trying to tune in from her new place. So anyway, we'll give it another minute or so and see if anyone else is going to come today. Trick-or-treating. Everybody ready to trick-or-treat?
Yes.
Hand
I'll
out
check out the good candy before I put the rest in the bowl.
Oh. You know what? You have to taste test it. You have to sample it just a little bit, make sure it's quality. Quality control. I have a few nods to Halloween for you today. Just a few yoga Halloween nods.
Okay.
Do we know is Bennett coming? He's coming.
He told me yesterday if he went to the gym this morning, he would not come here.
Yeah.
So if he's
like,
not
I'm
here,
gonna
he
do
probably
one.
went to the gym.
Yes, very wise. Good interoception, as we were discussing, right? The sense of how you feel on the inside and listening to that. Yay! How are you? Glad you're here. We saved it just for you. I saw your very cute decorations in the yard.
Yeah,
Very
but
adorable.
we're not to do Halloween tonight. It's too cold.
That's just
Can't
cool.
be outside at all.
It's gonna be very windy too, but I feel
Oh my
sorry
gosh.
for them.
So
It seems like a great night to not trick or treat. So we will not be trick or treating. The
now
kids didn't want to, so we're just
our house
gonna.
will be in the dark. No cans.
But may everybody have fun. All right, so just as a reminder, and I was telling Carol this before y'all all got here, that this yoga class is a buffet. Take only what you want, leave anything you don't want for somebody else. So please listen to your body and do what feels good to you. So let's check in, if we can, with our skeleton. Little Halloween nod for you there. And see if your skeleton can feel really beautifully aligned. So maybe take a second to close your eyes or let your gaze just travel down past your nose for a moment. And just use your imagination to see your spine, to just visualize it for a moment. And you might really see that the top of the spine leads directly into the skull. And you might see how it feels to feel that skull lengthen actively up toward the ceiling. And then you might visualize where the tailbone is, and you might see how it feels to allow that tailbone to move actively toward the ground, or to the seat beneath you. And then you might visualize with your skeleton the sitting bones at the base of your hips that are connecting you to the chair. And then you might visualize the leg bones that send right out from your hips directly to your knees and over your ankles. So you might take a second to just adjust your alignment so that things are beautifully lined up. The hips with the knees, with the ankles, all the way to the toes. And then you might check back in with that spine. Know that there are 33 of those vertebrae in your spine, and that you can, with your imagination, imagine a little bit more space between each of them so that your spine is continuously lengthening up and down. There's no rigid posture. We're just going for continued length and openness and freedom. And when you feel you've got a good sense of your skeleton, you can open your eyes. Yay! I love it when I open my eyes and someone's here. That's so great. And you can rub your hands together for a moment. And we're going to do a lion's breath. Okay, so the lion's breath reminds me of a gargoyle. So that's why we're doing that on Halloween, right? So we're going to take our, you can make fists if it feels okay. You can draw your shoulders up at your ears and kind of like squeeze everything. And then we're going to take a big breath in and let it go. And stick your tongue way out. And you can open your eyes and you can kind of roll them up in your head. Okay, so shake everything out. Let's do that again. Here we go. Draw your shoulders up by your ears. You can make your fists. Take a big breath and go. How about one more? You got one more in you? Here we go. Tense everything up for just a moment. Take a big breath and go. Beautiful. And then take your claws and make some nice circles. You can see whether it feels good to your hands to roll your fists and see if that gets into the stretch a little bit differently. Just kind of experiment with which one feels better to you. And then when you're ready, come in the opposite direction. And if it feels good, you can take it into your elbows, rather. This makes me think of that skeleton, that old Disney skeleton cartoon, where they're like, and then go the other way, whatever feels good. And then let everything relax for a second and just take a moment to envision your skeleton again, so that you can continually come back to this length, this idea of space in the spine. Take a nice deep breath in, let it out on a sigh. And then let's rub the hands together again. And we're gonna do a little scalp massage, your favorite and mine. You know I designed everything for myself in this class. What do I feel like doing today? So let's take that to the scalp. If you don't have anything in your hair today, you can like brush your hair. That feels really good. And it gets to a lot of points in the head. Or you can just take some circles. So experiment with what feels best to you. Right along the hairline, all the way around the ears. And when you've had your fill with the scalp, then you can cover the tops of the ears and massage there, all the way down to the lobes. So good. And then maybe all the way down to the jaw, and the back of the neck. And you might take your left arm to the right side and come over to your shoulder. Some nice big ropey muscles in there. Nice breath in and out. And then to the other side. Finding what feels good. You have absolute permission at any time to keep doing something that feels great or sit there and rest. Carol, did you know that in yoga class, if you just sit there and breathe, you're doing a great, amazing yoga class. You're nailing it, okay? And let's rub the hands together just one more time. Mine are nice and warm now, finally. And you can just take your hands to your heart for a moment. You can close your eyes or let that gaze travel down past your nose again. You can see if you can lift your heart a little bit more towards your hands. You can feel your own heart beating for a moment. It's a great time to take stock of how you feel, any aches or pains that you want to attend to today, any feelings of frustration or stress that you'd like to move the needle on ever so slightly. This is the time to do that. Big breath in and out. And then let's bring the hands to prayer position. And you can do that same thing. You might find that you've collapsed a little bit in the rib cage. You can lift a little bit more. And then drop your chin to your chest so you can get a little stretch through the back of the neck. Just as much as feels good to you. Big breath in and out. You might see if you can start to hear yourself breathing. You can create a slight constriction in the throat so that you can hear the sound of the breath. Let the chin drop just a little bit further. Draw your shoulders down and away from your ears. Big breath in and let your hands relax. And I thought we could take our arm across the body, but first, take your left arm and draw it across like Dracula. And then you can draw it across. Yes, all the way. So that you're grasping with your right hand. And then see if you can drop that left shoulder down into socket a little bit more. Reach actively across with your left arm. And then if it feels good to you, you can take your left ear over your left shoulder. And you can bring it back. And we'll just do it, we'll do it 6 times. And when you get to your 6th one, then you can hold it for a moment. So we're just going really gentle. Continuing to create some space on that left side of the neck. And then this time, let it relax there. Keep drawing your left shoulder down. And then big breath in. And come back to center. And if your arm is still okay, then take a look over that left shoulder and look back. So it's like you're kind of shaking your head half a no, right? So you can do some back and forth. Or you could just hold it. Whatever you are doing is absolutely perfect. You are nailing it. And then if you like, you can look over for just a moment. Hold that stretch. Make sure you're breathing. Whatever you're doing, as long as you're breathing, it's really great. And then big breath in and let everything relax. Just take a moment to close your eyes or let your gaze travel down past your nose so you can feel the difference between each side before we move on. Big breath in and sigh it out. And then let's take the, what is this? Right arm. Here we go. Be a Dracula for a moment. And then take your left arm and sort of grasp that wrist so that you're getting some nice length. We're going to drop the right shoulder down into socket. We're just going to find a good stretch right here. And you're welcome to stay here. You guys look amazing. And if you want a little bit more for the neck, then you can start to drop that right ear over the right shoulder. And you can just bring it back a few times. Actively reaching with your left arm across the body, or your right arm rather, my left. And then this time, just let it relax there for a moment, getting a good stretch through the left side of the neck. Big breath in. Exhale, bring it back to center. And then let's take some mobilizations to the side. So we're going to look over and then look back. Look over and then look back. Whatever you're doing is perfect. We're just sort of warming up the neck a little bit. For that last one, this time we're going to stay there for a moment, get a good stretch. See if you can really keep breathing and see if you can imagine your skeleton lengthening just a little bit more here. Big inhale, exhale, let everything go. How's everyone feel? Doing okay? All right. Let's take your left hand up, and we'll reach up and over for a moment. And here we're going to see if we can lift through the heart a little bit so we're not collapsing. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, put that one down. Let's take it to the other side. Inhale, really reach, and then up and over. Exhale, back to center. Well, inhale, and then exhale. We're going to do it again on the other side, and this time let's see if you can really have a sense of the hip staying grounded. So we're going to lengthen our left hand up, stay grounded through the left hip as you take it up and over. See if we can keep the heart nice and lifted. Smile a little bit. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, put it down. And then we're going to ground through the right hip this time. So take the right hand up, exhale it up and over, lift through the heart a little bit. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, take it down. And then let your hands just shake for a moment, skeleton style. And then let's take some shoulder rolls. So we'll go to the front a few times. We'll go 6 times. Feel free to go as small as you like for this. You can also rest your hands on your thighs if that feels better. So feel free to experiment with what feels best to you. You can even put your hands on the pew in front of you. Let's take a breath and go to the back. See if you can hear yourself breathing. Maybe put a little half smile on your face. And then let your hands just relax on your legs for a moment. And let's take it to the spine. So take your arms up, think like a ghost this time. I'm really trying to give you guys some Halloween fun. And then we're going to exhale into that little cactus position or T. And then we'll take the arms up, let them float up, and then we'll bring them back into the T. And for this T, we are lifting through the sternum. We're drawing the shoulder blades together in the back, and we're smiling a little bit. Here we go. Inhale, take them up. Exhale, back into your T. Beautiful. One more time. Up, and then we're going to let your arms float down to the pew in front of you. Everyone got a pew where you can rest? See what happens if you kind of I'm going to turn this way, but you stay where you are. If you actively reach your hands toward the front, as though you're reaching past your pew, and then you're going to draw your shoulders back. So your torso is staying where it is. We're just kind of stretching through the trapezius muscles in the upper back. We draw the shoulder blades together, and then we open through the back, and draw them back in the socket. Beautiful. Let them rest for just a second. And let's take some Halloween cat, okay? And then the cow, which is not Halloween at all, but just imagine that it's wearing a costume or something. So here's our cat. We're going to draw the chin to the chest. We're going to round through the spine and exhale. And then we inhale. We're going to lift through the sternum, lengthen through the spine, and send the heart up and out. Here we go. Exhale back into that nice rounded spine. And we're going to inhale, take it up. So this is really great for flexibility in the spine. And it does not have to be a gigantic movement. Carol, we're always trying to figure out how we can subtly do yoga during church. Nobody will notice. And if you're okay with getting a little more obvious and you would like some extra movement here, you can bring your hands to the pews as you come into your hands like this. And then I can get this nice stretch through here. All right, so we're going to round and really come into your cocoon for a second. And then we're going to emerge. Maybe this is butterfly and cocoon. I just made that up just now. Whatever you are doing is perfect as long as it feels good to you. You're welcome to stay in either of these positions as long as you like. Wherever you are, make sure you're connecting the motion with your breath. And when you come into this next cat, go ahead and bring your forearms to the top of the pew and just rest. There you go. Put your head on rest your forehead on your forearms. Just rest and breathe for a moment. Feel free to widen your feet a little bit if that would feel good in this position. And just stay there for a breath or two. Big breath in and big breath out. And you can always come back to this position at any time. If you're ready to come out of it, envision your spine rolling from the tailbone all the way up, really nice and flexible. Now let's take a spinal twist. So this time we'll float the arms up like the ghost. We're going to lengthen out of the crown of the head, and then we're going to just gently come to the side. And let those arms rest down. And then take them right back up. Don't get too stuck there. Floating over to the other side, lengthening up out of the crown of the head. Remember to breathe, take it back up this time. And if it feels good, this time when you come to the left side, feel free to rest your hands on the pew in front and behind you so that you can get a nice stretch here. See if you can feel a lot of length out of the crown of the head. Visualize your own spine growing taller. Oh, I can see it, really nice. Lengthen as you take the arms up. And come to the other side and find a place to rest your hands that feels good to you so that you can continue to lengthen up out of the front of the head, lifting through the heart. And inhale, take it down and relax for a moment. If you have not already widened your feet, go ahead and walk them out a little bit. So you may find that you adjust your sitting bones a little bit, find a comfy spot for that. And then put your hands on your thighs for a second. And we'll take a little around the world. So we're going to take some circles. We're bringing the sternum forward and then rounding through the spine as we come to the back. Whatever you are doing, it is perfect as long as it feels okay to you. You can really incorporate the rounded spine as you come to the back, and the heart forward as you come to the front. Getting both into the hips and into that nice flexible spine. And whenever you're ready, switch directions. Make sure you breathe. As long as you are breathing, you are doing it great. You can even see if you can make this one so small, nobody could tell you were doing it. Good luck, though. And then let's see what happens. Let's see if we can find a nice stretch here. I don't have the pew in front of me, so what I'm going to do is just rest my forearm on my right thigh, and I'm going to take my arm up. If you would like, you can put your hand on the pew in front of you, and then you can up and up to the side. So everybody find a version that feels really good to you. Take a nice good breath here, and then swim your arm back, and let's come to the other side. So I'm going to rest my hand here. You can use your pew. You guys look great. Inhale and exhale. I think it feels so good we should do it on one more side. But you know you can child's pose here, or just sit and breathe, and you're doing great. And exhale. Just follow the pattern of your own breathing. Whatever you're doing is great. And then when you come back, put yourself back into a lovely child's pose here. Resting and breathing, relaxing. And if you are without a pew at home, you can always do what I'm doing, which is just resting my forearms on my thighs and letting the head and the neck really relax. Take as many breaths as you like here. Notice if you have any aches or pains that you need to lovingly attend to. And whenever you're ready, visualize your 33 vertebrae, starting with the tailbone. See if you can start to round through the spine and gradually roll the spine up to a nice, long, open skeleton. And let's keep our feet wide for a second because we're going to take it into our feet and legs. So let's take the left leg out to the side. Does everybody have room to stretch your foot out? I want to take a little inner thigh stretch. Yeah, feel free to adjust. You guys are kind of stuck here. All right, so we're going to get an inner thigh stretch. You just see what happens if you flex the toes up towards your face on the extended foot, and you go for that nice long spine. You guys all grew about 4 inches. It's really amazing. And if it feels good, you can also hinge at the hips here so that you're taking that stretch into the hip. Anything that is talking to you that you don't want to do, please honor that. And then take a good breath and feel free to come on back. And then let's take our hips this way to face the foot. So we're going to re-situate our hips so that we're nice and long. You can also do this one straight out in front of you if you want, wherever you can find space in the pews. Drawing the foot toward the face or the toes toward the face. You can stay right here and press actively into your right foot. So draw in a little energy there. Draw those toes toward the face. Lift, lift, lift out of the crown of the head. And then if it feels good, you can also hinge at the hip right here. So that you should be feeling a stretch ideally in the back of your left leg. Please remember to breathe deep, listen to your body. See if you can visualize, if you're hinging your hips forward, see if you can still visualize that nice length from the tailbone out the crown of the head. Get a good breath here, and then roll back up to a nice long spine. And then let's draw that foot in nice and slow. And we'll kind of heel toe our way back to center. I'm going to scooch my chair a little bit, and let's walk our feet wide again because we're going to take it to the other side, right? So this time take your right foot out, find a nice comfy inner thigh stretch here. Make sure you've got the room you need. You can gently draw your toes up towards your face, lengthening out of the crown of the head. This is already a great stretch, and if you want a little bit more, then you can hinge the hips. Seeing if you can keep the crown of the head really nice and long rather than collapsing, right? Just so you can keep the stretch in the hip and the inner thigh. Nice breath in and then come back. And then we'll walk our left foot over and angle our hips toward this extended leg. So everybody take a second to find a good position for yourself there. Continuing to curl those toes towards your face. This is already a good hamstring stretch, especially if we sit really, really tall. But then if you want to, you can hinge forward just a little bit and get an even deeper stretch through the back of the leg. Is everybody feeling a stretch in their hamstring? Okay, wonderful. Big breath in here, whatever you're doing is perfect. And then let's roll back up. And we'll draw that foot gently in. And let's just like tap our legs a little bit. Get some love and some attention there. You might take some massage to your kneecaps, which really like a little bit of massage. And if you want to massage your face and yawn, that's good too. I invite all of it. It's all good. All right, and then let's take our little tiptoes. So for the tiptoes, what we're trying to do is really roll all the way through to a tiptoe standing, and then we're gonna roll all the way back to the heels on the floor, and then we're gonna curl the toes back up and sort of splay them. It's really nice. And I know you all have shoes on, but see if you can feel that inside your feet. What we're doing is really going for integrity. I notice that when I do this, my ankle kind of wants to splay to the side. Does anybody else ever have that kind of happen? So see if you can go slow enough that you can maintain hip, knee, ankle, toe alignment, okay? So check in with your beautiful skeleton and let's breathe as we sort of lift up to the tippy toes. And then we're gonna roll through the foot and press the heel in, and we're gonna curl the toes up and splay them. And then we'll do the opposite. So just go at your own pace, whatever feels good to you. This is definitely one you can do in church. You can just look so attentive while you're doing it. You can nod. I'm just kidding. Of course it is not hard to be attentive at church. And then curl those toes and splay them. Great. And then when you press back into your heels, just relax for a moment. We're going to take it to one side. So press actively into your right foot this time. And imagine a little puppeteer is lifting your thigh up. We're going to draw the navel into the spine, and we're going to lift that left leg. And we'll just hold it there for a moment. If it feels good, you can pulse there just a little bit, knowing that your core, your abdominal muscles are like, yay, let's do it. Even if they're screaming right now, what they really mean is, yay, this is great. Take a nice big breath and let them relax. You give a little massage to that leg that did such a good job. And then let's ground that left leg, and we'll puppeteer the right leg up this time. Drawing the navel into the spine, finding a little length, and then pulsing if it feels okay. Feel free to put it down at any point. Know that you've done a great job. Couple more. Abs are smiling. And then put it down. And this time we're going to do the same thing. We'll puppeteer one leg up, and you can grasp your leg underneath the thigh. Okay, so let's round into the right leg this time and puppeteer our left leg up. And then you can hold your leg under the thigh. See if you can find a little extra lift. If this feels good and you want a little extra stretch, don't forget you can rotate your ankle here, one way and another. And if you want a little extra stretch, then you can grasp around the shin. So just find the version that feels good to you. Most important is that you breathe and that you can have some length in the spine, right? So whatever you're doing, it's great. You can flex and point a little bit. You can continue to draw the navel into the spine, smile a little, and then hug your leg in one more time and let it go. Maybe take a second to close your eyes and just feel the difference between the sides before we go on. Big breath in and out. And then let's ground through the left leg this time. We'll puppeteer the right leg up, drawing the navel into the spine. You can grasp your leg under the thigh. You can start to rotate your ankle one way and another. One way and the other. You only have two ways to go, really. And then if you would like a little deeper stretch, then you can lift that leg a little higher and grasp around the shin so that you're getting into a different set of muscles being stretched. And you can point a little bit. Most important is that you're breathing, lengthening up out of the crown of the head. Big inhale, hug that knee in, and then let it go. And now you know what we're going to do next, I bet. We're going to do exactly the same thing, except we'll turn it into a pigeon pose. So the pigeon pose looks like this. We're going to draw it, we don't have to do it right now, but we're going to draw it in just like we did, and then we're going to draw it across the body so we're stretching the hip. If you don't want to do that, you know that you can always just do this guy again, right? You can also do this. You can also just sit there and breathe, right? All good options. So let's try grounding through the right leg. We're going to puppeteer that left leg up, drawing the navel into the spine. Find a good place to stretch it, and then if it feels good and you want to try the pigeon pose, you can draw that foot across the right thigh and find a place to let it relax. Get a nice stretch through the hip. If you feel great here and you want a little more, you can hinge into your nice child's pose in the upper body. So you can also just stay there and lengthen out of the crown of the head. So find a version that feels great to you. Whatever you're doing, it's perfect. Don't you think no one would know if we were doing pigeon pose from up front? It just looks like I'm sitting there from here up. All right, wherever you are, take a big breath. And we're going to just cradle that foot gently as you bring it back up. So when we come in and out of these poses, that's just as important as the pose itself, right? That loving, tender, time-taking way. That's how we want to do it. So ground through the left leg this time. Find your version that you want, puppeteering the right leg up, finding a nice stretch first, and then drawing that right foot across the left thigh. Lengthening up out of the crown of the head. Remembering that it's okay to skip the pigeon pose. Maybe you did it last week and you don't want to do it this week. I applaud you, whatever you want to do. Lengthening up out of the crown of the head. If you'd like a little bit extra stretch, you can come into your child's pose, resting on the pew in front of you. Or you can just find a nice length. You can smile a little bit. You can breathe in and out. And then when we're ready, we're going to lovingly come out of this pose by cradling our foot ever so sweetly and then setting it back down. Okay, great. And how about everybody just come into a little child's pose for a second? That'll give me time to turn my page. There you go. And remember, the way to do this without the pew in front of you is just to rest your hands on your thighs, your forearms on your thighs. Letting the head and the neck really relax. Taking a moment to scan the body for any tension. And seeing if you can release it. Maybe tension between the eyes or in the tongue or jaw, in the feet or the hands. Take a moment to send some breath and some awareness to any spot that feels tight. Big breath in, big breath out. Feel free to stay here as long as you like. And when you're ready, you can visualize your tailbone and you can roll slowly, starting at the tailbone, rolling all the way up the crown of the head. And we're going to come to standing today. Last week I didn't leave enough time for it. So today I know you're excited that we can come to standing. So we're going to practice standing. Now please use the pew to help you with balance. That is great. But it's also great to be mindful of the muscles that you can recruit for standing and sitting so that you can do it forever, right? So drawing the navel into the spine, finding a little length at the crown of the head, pressing actively into the feet. We're going to sort of feel that skull being lifted as we press into our feet and come to standing. And then maybe you want to come to a little superhero pose. Once you get there and you're nice and comfy, you can also keep your hands here wherever you feel good. Lifting through the sternum. Nice and confident and strong today. Big breath in. And then let's take some hip circles. These can be as small as you like, but they are really good for the hip joints. So really listen to how it feels for you. Make sure you're breathing. It's easy to stop breathing in all of these things. Find a good position for your feet. See if you can continue to feel a little length out of the crown of the head. When you're ready, get a gigantic breath and go the other way for a moment. See if you can go for glidey, fluid, slow motions that are good for your joints. Speaking of which, today we have something brand new. We're going to take individual hip circles. You are always welcome to abstain. I'm going to come behind you and feel free to use your pew. And also feel free to step out into the aisle so you have more room. Because what we're going to do is we'll take the left hip first. But we're just going to start with some small circles. So make sure you've got room to do that. It can be as small as you like. And you can always come to the front. Feel free to move around in here. And then take it in the other direction. There you go. Come on out so you have room. Yes, please do. We are getting very comfy in here, Carol. We lie down on the floor. We lie down on the pews. We move all over the place. And then take a moment to just plant both feet. See if you can feel a little bit of a difference between these two sides. I would recommend all of us do this every day. High five in the air if you're going to try doing it every day. Or not, that's okay. All right, so now let's take it to the other side. And you may want to like face the other direction, right? So, you know, come to the spot where you can take it to your other leg. Now we're doing our right leg. It's going to be my left leg, okay? So find a good spot where you can open up a little bit. It does not need to be a gigantic movement. We're just going to really see that hip rotating in the socket, visualizing your skeleton and what's happening right there. Really great to do a little bit every day if we can. And when you're ready, take a breath and go the other way. Guess what? You're also getting a little bit of balancing. It's all gold. And if you just stand there and smile at me, that is great too. And then plant both feet. Take a moment to feel how your hips feel. I hope they feel good and they make you want to smile. And then we're going to do a little bit of a tree pose. So find a good spot where you can hold onto a pew. You can stay right where you are. You can come in. We're going to do those leg lifts again. So plant into your right foot, really grounded, and then we're going to puppeteer our left knee up. And we're just going to stay there and balance. See if you can draw your navel into your spine. See if you can feel a little length off the crown of the head. Oh, you really grew. And if you want to experiment with your balance, you can let go and draw the hands to the chest. But please hold on, that is great. And this is our lovely tree pose. Can you keep breathing? You might even want to take one arm up. Or you want to take both arms up, or you want to wave your arms around, and then whatever happens, you just laugh and giggle, and then you know the cue is there to catch you, and then let everything relax. Great. And take a moment to just feel what's different on this side. It's all good. There's no perfect version of this. It's all about process, right? So we're going to plant our left leg this time. We'll allow our right leg to puppeteer up as we draw our navel into the spine, finding that length from the tailbone out the crown of the head, finding a nice comfy position for your hands on the pew is great. If you want to play with your balance, you can draw your hands here. You could do one hand up. So you're starting to encourage a little bit of balance. You can do both hands up and then you can giggle and see what happens. Woo! Big inhale and exhale, let everything come back. Wonderful, and now we're going to come to our seat. So make sure the seat's behind you, but before you sit, think about how you could sit really mindfully. So you're recruiting the muscles that are going to help you do it forever, right? So find that length out of the crown of the head, drawing the navel into the spine. And we're going to send our sitting bones that we were sitting on at the base of the pelvis, we're going to send those back toward the chair. Bending through the knees. Oh, you did so beautifully without even using any support. Love it. So let's do a little, how am I doing on time? We're doing great on time. Let's do some circle of joy, right? So for this, we bring the hands to the heart. We take a nice big inhale. Exhale, interlace the fingertips, send them out in front of you and round through the spine, drawing the chin to the chest. Inhale, take the palms up toward the ceiling, nice and slow, smile a little. Exhale, take it over to one side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, release the bind and feel some energy shooting out of your fingertips as you slowly send the hands all the way behind your tailbone or next to your hips so that you can lift through your sternum, draw the shoulder blades together a little bit. And then we'll inhale, draw the hands back to the heart, and exhale just for a moment. So when we bring the hands behind the tailbone, you are welcome, especially because you may not have room to interlace. This is what I'm doing behind my tailbone, but you may not have room back there to do that. So you can always just put the hands here. So the idea is to just draw some space in the front of the body. So whatever way you want to do that is perfect. Let's inhale. Exhale, interlace the fingertips and send the palms out in front of you as you round through the spine, sending the chin to the chest. Inhale, hands to ceiling. Exhale, come over to one side, lengthening through both sides. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, feel length through both sides of the body. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, release and feel a little energy out of the fingertips, finding a nice place to rest your hands behind you so that you can draw your shoulder blades together and get a good stretch across the front of the body. Inhale and exhale. And this time, I won't talk so much, but you're welcome to follow me or just close your eyes and do it in your own time. Always feel free to linger or skip. Anything you want to spend longer on or you want to just skip over. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Close your eyes here. Feel your own heart beating. Check in with your skeleton. See if you can find a little more length from the tailbone out the crown of the head. See if you can feel your feet nice and grounded and your sitting bones really supporting you. And let's go one more time. Big breath in. Exhale, interlace and round through the spine. Before we come into our Shavasana, well done, I just invite you to take any stretch that feels good to you. If there's anything that your body's craving that we haven't done yet, please do it, because we're going to get still in a moment and really let everything rest, right? So check in with your lower spine. Hopefully everything feels really good. When you come to Shavasana, this is your corpse pose. This is the resting part of the practice. So you can grab a pillow and maybe put it behind your lower back if that would feel good. We've got lots over here. You can, Aurelia likes to lie down on that extra. Gail goes to the floor there. You always like the pew. And some of us just like to sit, and that's great too. And the idea is that you can just really rest here. So we're gonna let go of the need to lift through the spine anymore. We're just gonna relax and let it be what it's gonna be here. And take a moment to visualize your breath for a second. You can close your eyes, or you can let your gaze travel down past your nose. Just visualize your inhale and exhale, knowing that it should be long and deep and natural and easy and smooth and slow. So just take a moment to feel some breaths, seeing if you can draw on those qualities. After that nice stretch, maybe with your imagination, you can even envision the air entering your nostrils. And you can imagine sending that air all the way to the pelvic floor. So you're really allowing the breath to deepen. And seeing if we can just pay attention to the breath, noticing how it feels all the way from the beginning of the breath to the end of the breath. And when we practice this, the mind definitely wanders. And when that happens, we just notice it and lovingly bring the attention back to the breath, knowing that that is all part of the process. Feeling the air at the nostrils, all the way down to the pelvic floor. And as you find that nice expansion for the breath, you might also see if on the exhale you can soften anywhere. Maybe you can soften between your eyes, at the jaw with the tongue, back of the neck, shoulders, hands or feet. So we're paying attention to the expansion on the inhale, the deepness of the inhale, and then the softening of the exhale. Now we'll just do a little body scan. Start at the top of the head, where we massaged at the beginning of the class today. See if you can imagine that nice release in your scalp, like a melting feeling, traveling all the way down into your jaw, down between your eyes, into your cheeks, all the way down the back of the neck, into the shoulders. See if you can feel that melting feeling in your right shoulder, down to your right elbow, down to your right wrist, and out your fingertips. And then feel that same soft, melted feeling in your left shoulder. Let it travel down to your left elbow, your left wrist, and out your fingertips. Feel that same softness in your heart and in the back of the shoulders, and let that travel down your spine into the lower back and all the way around the front into the belly, really softening. right hip. Let it travel down to your right knee, down to your right ankle, and out the toes. And see if you can find that same softness in the left hip, down to the left knee, to the left ankle, and out the toes. Seeing if you could stay with your mind's attention gently on the breath for a few more breaths. Feeling it enter and feeling it leave the body with softness. And then we're going to let go of any need to do anything at all. No need to breathe any particular way, or feel any particular feeling, or think any particular thought. Just allow the body and the mind to rest, feeling all the nutrients of your practice absorbing, allowing the brain to make all sorts of good connections. And I'll invite you to end this class with a loving kindness meditation. We just offer a blessing. And the first recipient of the blessing is ourselves. So you can just let these words wash over you, or you can repeat them in your mind. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. And when we say live with ease, we don't mean that everything is easy. We just mean may life not be such a struggle day to day. Family, work, relationships, may it not be such a struggle. May I be safe. May I be happy, be healthy, live with ease. And then we will send that blessing to the whole world, wrapping our arms around the entire world. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings live with ease. May all beings be safe, be happy, be healthy, live with ease. Just enjoy a few more moments with nothing to do and nowhere to go, nothing to accomplish, knowing that we can come back to this spot in this state many times throughout the day. Whenever you're ready, I'll invite you to wiggle your fingers a little bit, to maybe move your tongue around in your mouth and swallow. So bat the eyelashes open. Take in the biggest breath you've had all day.